More than 10 years have passed, but Margaret Gomez family members still drive by a southwest corner searching for the man they believe strangled the 22-year-old and left her in a muddy lot in the shadow of the Stevenson Expressway. They don't expect to find him, but feel it's something they must do that and pray. Lately, he said a prayer to the Virgin Mary, the mother, who said the same name as her daughter, told a reporter in a quiet voice, and then echo, maybe it's a signal the family have waited even longer for an answer. Over the last 17 years, at least 75 women have been strangled or smothered in Chicago and their body dumped in vacant building. Alice Garbage Can, Snowbank, arrests have been made in only a third of the cases, according to a first-ever analysis by the Tribune. While there are clusters of unsolved strangulation on the south and west side, police say thieves uncover no evidence of a serial killer at work. If they are right, 50 murderers have gotten away with their crime. 50 people use bell, brass rope, packing tape or their bare hand to kill these women. 50 families still looking for justice for a mother, a sister, a daughter. It has mostly been a silent visual. There have been few news stories and even fewer memory or other public gesture that would have focused attention on these women and how they died. The Tribune began reviewing their cases while following up on the largely ignored story of a woman strangled last summer, her body dumped along up on the west side. We wanted to find out how many other women had been strangled and abandoned, who were they and had their killer been caught. It's a staggering number, said Kaeder Morris Hoffer, executive director of the Chicago Alliance Against Sexual Exploitation. It is thought how easy it is to disrupt people's sense of comfort, and a large number of people are accused at once. It is likewise upsetting to realize how, if you spread out over a long period of time, how new people are to the murdering of women, particularly marginalized women. The Tribune searched through thousands of pages of medical examiner records and public crime reports to build a database. Here is what we found. At least 75 women have been strangled or smothered in the city since 2001. The earliest that crime reports on the slaying were publicly available. Many of them struggle with drug or prostitution, making them particularly vulnerable to predators on the street. Some had no arrest record at all. 25 of the cases have been closed with the arrest of 13 men. Some of them charged with more than one murder. That leaves 67% still unsolved. The police department would not say if there are active suspects in those cases, but officials revealed more than a dozen of them after they were contacted by the Tribune and have referred to cocaine detectives. There are clusters of strangulation around Washington Park on the south side and Garfield Park on the west side. 27 slaying happened in 3 police districts on the west, south and far south side, long marked by violence and drug use. Of those, just 3 have been solved around Washington Park. 2 women were strangled and left in burning. Just been over 2 days in November 2007. Teresa Bull, 21-year-old and 8-month pregnant, was found south of the park. Hazel Louis, 52, was found the next day north of the park behind an elementary school. Neither case has been solved. The women range in age from 18 to 58, and most of them were African American. One of the victims was a grandmother of 20 and a great-grandmother of 2. Other were nurses, waitresses, young women hoping to finally conquer their addiction and go back to school. At least 47 of the women had history of prostitution. Based on the Tribune analysis, along with interviews with women who work in prostitution, strangulation is one of the main ways people in the trade have been killed in Chicago over the last 2 decades. It's upfront and personal, said Brenda Meyer Powell, a former prostitute who co-founded the Dreamcatcher Foundation, an organization that provides outreach and mentoring for those in the trade. It has been choked so much, it became like, you don't let guy get close to your neck. Auto autopsy report indicates some of the women were also raped and beaten. Some got some had plastic bags tightened around their head. One had a broken nose, others suffered severe head injury and bruises over their body. The brutal nature of this crime is very disturbing, said Chief of Detective Melissa Staple, along with victim advocate, said the dangerous one. Some of these women frequently make it more difficult to solve their slaying. The last person with the victim is often unknown. People usually assist witnesses don't just copy DNA evidence doesn't always lead to a suspect. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, when the body of dozens of women were found, the police department responded by forming a task force that solved the slaying of 40 women. The task force was eventually disbanded even as the Tribune review showed. The attack continued as steady pace. Staple is not certain the task force need to be reinstated, but Cook County top prosecutor said it is worth considering to raise the level of urgency in clearing cases. If we knew there was someone picking up children on their way to school, eating the urgency of trying to figure out who would require us to have a task force. State Attorney Kim Fox said in a recent interview that it is not the level of urgency we have with these women. She wanted friends, and this is what happened a dozen years ago. Margaret Gomez left home for the last time, chasing a heroin addiction that crushed the spirit of the slide. As young woman, her mother, also named Margaret Gomez, had moved her daughter to the western suburb when she was a child in search of safer than outside her little village home. Gomez said her family was stable. She had high expectations for her daughter, who looked close to one another, and she was a strict mother. She said, unafraid to ground her children for months if they broke through. Her daughter tried for a time. She was on the cheerleading squad. She loved art and was featured with a toothy smile on the front page of the local paper after winning a contest. But Gomez said her daughter was shy, had low self-esteem, and like most adolescents, longed for friends. She just wanted everyone to like her. She wanted friends, and this is what happened to her. The family believed Margaret got addicted to drugs while hanging out at a park near the family home. She had a boyfriend who used drugs. She was crazy about him. Soon she went missing for days and would return home battered. Her glasses often broken. Through their family member recorded desperate effort over for it to help her. A sister paid for both Margaret and her boyfriend to get methadone treatment. They found a spot at a rehab facility, but her boyfriend wouldn't dare and go with her, and she refused to go without him. Friends of the family who work in law enforcement would often check her down on the west side and bring her home. Her mother would sometimes take harrowing drive in search of her wayward daughter. There were patches of success. Margaret earned her GED and worked as a waitress, a job listed on her death certificate. Along with her sister, she received first communion and was confirmed as an adult. To rite of passage in the Catholic faith, as with many of the women found strangled addiction had a tight grip on Margaret. Here's how she described herself in a letter left on her mother's dining room table months before she was killed. Mama, she wrote in pencil on light paper her mother kept neatly folded inside a plastic baggie. I wanted to let you know how thankful I am having such a forgiving, caring, determined mother. I know how much stress I put you through, and I want to apologize and promise it won't happen again. I had hit a point where I had become real weak, and I don't know how I let it get that bad. I only want improvement from this day on. I love you, love how you're on way on me side no matter what. Margaret's body was found in a gravel lot in the 4200 block of South Knox Avenue on the southwest side. She was partially clothed, lying on her back in mud. A brown rope around her neck. On her upper back was a tattoo that read, "Love Mom." She was 22. The family says police put together evidence in the initial week, but in retrospect, family members think investigators focus on the wrong suspect. After about a month, the trial of the detective Sintois, they said, no arrest was made. More than a decade later, on the candle remain lit on dresses and is just as Jesus if he would find the killer. Gomez set up her nightly routine, and he tell her he loved her a lot. Of these women, one out Catherine Satterfield Buchanan body was discovered under a street light not long after midnight on a June morning last year. The latest human to be found strangled on Chicago Street. According to the Tribune database, Satterfield Buchanan was lying on her back near a large tree. Legs play over the earth. Police covered her with a white sheet as a few curious neighbors gathered in the East Garfield Park neighborhood. Her feet poked out the bottom amid empty bottle and shattered glass. Her face was badly beaten. Her slaying on show remained unsolved. Satterfield Buchanan was 58 and, like most of the victims, was older than Margaret. She had finally come for help to break through on West Carroll Avenue, a sunny, love-like shelter and health center. Sharon Mason, director of adult services at Breakthrough, said many of the women they have experienced traumatic childhood to poverty and homelessness. They are often estranged from family. Satterfield Buchanan struggled with learning disability and was arrested at least once for prostitution. They have experienced something most of us couldn't comprehend. She said a lot of women want out, but they just don't know how. A report last year by the Cook County Sheriff Office surveyed 172 women who work in prostitution and found 44% of them had started working in the trade before the age of 18. More striking, 37% reported starting before they were 16. One said she began at 9. An alarming number of the women surveyed, 88%, said they had experienced violence such as a beating, and 35 reported being orally assaulted as an adult. Mason said she last saw Satterfield Buchanan at the food pantry 2 weeks before she was found dead. Catherine was so timid. She said he couldn't believe anyone would want to hurt her. A close relative who asked not to be named to protect her privacy said Satterfield Buchanan always made sure you had something to eat. Red was her favorite color. She said occasionally you could find her listening to rhythm and blues, but she mostly stuck to jazz. The night Satterfield Buchanan was killed, the relative spoke with her on the phone about a 4th of July barbecue. I love you, Satterfield Buchanan told her. Tell the kids he loved them. 2 hours later, she was killed. The relative said detective did not interview her or other immediate family member who knew about Satterfield Buchanan or about you telling me they got away. The relative said she was a nice, caring person. Staple, the chief of detective, said investigative note so detective did interview a relative, though the family said it was a cousin who was not close to Satterfield Buchanan. Mason said she doesn't recall talking to police about Satterfield Buchanan, even though the shelter is known for helping women in the trade on the west side. Mason believed police should regularly visit her shelter, something they don't do now, and get to know the women, build trust and maybe collect letters of some of the cases. People know what's happening on the street, Mason said, but they don't talk because they don't feel protected. Where will the same Aniscan Grip neighborhood where the women had been discovered in 2014, Venma Howard was found frozen in the snow in East Garfield Park on the block where she was discovered. An elderly man recently answered his door, scratched his face and zapped out his chin at the mention of the slaying. Why are you here back 3 years later after all this time? Where will he shook his head and slammed the door. His son, who lay in the apartment below him, came outside and talked to the reporter. Yes, he said, they remember when the body was found, buried in a snowbank. Official report tell the story in vivid detail. Howard was 2 white sock on her left foot, one on her right foot, and a metal hoop earring hung from her left earlobe, black leggings under her jeans, and a cigarette lighter and napkin tucked into the left front pocket of her pants. Her fingernails were painted blue and her toenails red. With the temperature near freezing, she bundled herself in a blue sweatshirt and brown jacket. It ran until the snow was so full that her body was discovered wrapped in a tan blanket tied together with a red rope. A white electrical cord was wrapped around her neck so tightly. Purple bruising was visible. The Sun explained to a reporter why his dad was so upset. Neither he nor his dad was interviewed by police. They just picked the body up and left. The Sun said, "We are just look over." Neither man wanted to be named. The department would not allow the newspaper to see the file on Gomez, Satterfield Buchanan, or to the other women because the cases are considered open and still active. But Staples said she personally reviewed 15 of the unsolved cases and referred to co-case detective. Staples would not disclose which cases, saying she wanted to protect any new investigative work. They deserve the same investigation as anyone else. Staples sit in her fourth floor office at Chicago Police Headquarters on the south side. A 4-inch stack of case files to her left. She came up through the rank of the detective division and has worked cases in neighborhood where some of the women found that they are tragic and tough cases to solve. She acknowledged, like other murder cases, they are assigned to the regular rotation of homicide detectives in the city. 3 major investigative divisions. There are a team of specialists for related crimes. As in any homicide, detectives canvass for witnesses, talk to family members, and draw on help from the department-wide unit and its human trafficking team when investigating the cases. DNA and other evidence are collected and sent to the Illinois State Crime Lab. If a DNA profile is obtained, it is entered into a national database called CODIS. It contains samples from arrested felons as well as unnamed samples from victims and crime scene. In that way, cases can be matched even when a suspect is not known. In the 50 unsolved cases found by the Tribune, no such case to case association have been found. Staples said, and no cases have been linked by other investigative means. In the 1990s, Chicago police were caught off guard when DNA analysis detected at least 4 patterns of assault and slaying of prostitutes in several Southside neighborhoods. The Tribune account in a hanging story outlined the problem in terms strikingly similar to those of Gomez, Satterfield Buchanan, Howard, and the other. Most of the victims was strangled or suffered blunt force trauma. Many had arrested for drug and prostitution and were engaged in what police at the time called a high-risk style. A task force was created to investigate dozens of rape and murder. It was staffed by about 10 detectives who could dedicate their time to tracking down witnesses and reviewing DNA results. Officials at the time pledged to stay vigilant and continue to use it when appropriate. Years ago, nobody cared about this girl. SGT, Tony Kuta said at the time, "Well, they homicide victims, they people, citizens of Chicago, and they deserve the same investigation, the same integrity of investigation as anyone else." Staples and other department officials said they did not know what happened to the task force over the years. She doesn't think one is needed now, believing the nature of the crime and the troubled background of the victim can be handled by detectives on regular duty. It's so evident and witnesses, she said, but some outside experts and law enforcement officials think a task force or other kind of step effort is needed, both for serial killer and to clear up the backlog of strangulation at a time when detectives are burdened by a spy in gun killing. There were 670 homicides in Chicago last year and 792 the year before. The most in nearly 2 decades. According to data kept by the Tribune, many of those fatal shootings involving guns. We are talking a lot about gun violence in the city of Chicago because we have a ridiculous amount of gun violence in this city. State Attorney Kim Foxx told the Tribune, as if a task force could have fostered such collaboration between her office and police could increase clearance rate by focusing more attention on the cases and detecting possible patterns. She noted that her office already has staff that specialists in human trafficking. I think sometimes we forget that we can work and chew gum at the same time. Fox said there has to be sustained advocacy around women who are losing their life because they are vulnerable. Jody Raphael, a researcher at DePaul University who has studied prostitution in Chicago for years, said the number of unsolved cases is a reminder how much time and resources this crime demand. Because of the fact that you could have a serial murderer out there, you have to investigate these cases. Raphael said it could be week and week of pounding the pavement and very hard work. You got some dream researchers across the country are trying to better understand violence against people who work in prostitution and how to reduce it. Why serial killing are declining in this country? They are decreasing at a slower rate when the victim are prostitutes. The likelihood of being a victim of serial murder has declined for everyone, said Kenna Kinnett, an associate professor in the School of Public and Environmental Affairs at Indiana University. Purdue University at Indianapolis, but it has as much for prostitutes. They are unable to protect themselves. The nature of their work is they will go it as stranger that it is illegal for CC into an underground and invisible economy. One study found that 65% of serial murder victims were female, and nearly 78% of them were prostitutes. Maurice Hopper, from the Chicago Alliance Against Sexual Exploitation, said all this point to an overt law enforcement approach make it risky for men to prey on these women. They should be aggressively going after men who buy. Maurice Hopper said people think about the prostitution as a problem about her, but prostitution is a problem about him. Culturally, if we could flip the focus and stop saying the question is the choices or the behavior that she is engaging in and think about the choices and behavior of the buyer. Most men don't buy. We have to move towards judging and condemning and penalizing the men whose disposable income fuel this entire thing. Why some have argued for more camera in area frequented by customers, others have pressed for more outreach and social services to keep the women off the street. We are the ones that are actually in the belly of the beast, said Stephanie Danny and Wilson, who co-founded Dreamcatcher with My Apple, and crisis doesn't make an appointment. We are in the street doing this. Brenda Stewart, executive assistant at the Dreamcatcher Foundation, visit friend at Holy Grill in Cicero as she go on her route helping prostitutes. Stewart and fellow Dreamcatcher worker Jay Whitney, both former prostitutes, spent the night năm 2017 driving all over the city of Chicago searching for prostitutes to hand out comforting wood and toiletry kit. Nancy Stone, Chicago Tribune, one night in early October, an 8 passenger van emblazoned with Dreamcatcher Foundation bound along Market Road West and Norton Hampstead Street as the clock struck towards midnight. The street was empty. The van cruised up 47th Street and then over to the area known as Catown on the west side. It's definitely dangerous, said Brenda Stewart, gazing out the passenger seat window. A box of packages on the seat behind her. A lot of vacant building. It's dark. They paused at out with the lot near Kilburn Avenue and Wyckoff Street, where a transgender woman had recently been killed. Stewart finished her thought. This street will chill you up and spit you out, she said. Behind Stewart and across the street, Woman walk out of a house and down the front step and headed down the dimly lit block. Stewart lead out Rick Walker at Dreamcatcher and her co-worker that night. Jay Whitney got back in the van. It took just a block to catch up to the woman. The woman, with a soft voice and a sweet face, told her story quickly, sparing detail, but for the key point, her boyfriend had killed her son. She said nightmare followed, heroin and cocaine were next, and now here she stood at nearly 1 giờ sáng in patterned leggings and dark top, working to support her habits. Stewart, who worked for 15 years in prostitution, listened. Then she ripped a piece of paper from a spiral notebook and wrote her name and phone number in a large scroll. She held it up under her chin and stood back from the woman. How about you call me, she said. How about you call me? 24 hours, and you will answer the phone. The young woman nodded. I ain't gonna tell you to go rehab. Stewart assured her. You ain't got to go nowhere. I ain't trying to make you stop doing nothing that you doing. I just want you to come us. I want you to talk to me. Us. I want you to know that there is somebody that care about you. You can call me and say, Miss Brenda, I'm okay. Just call me. I ain't gonna be shocked, and I'm not gonna zap you. Stewart paused just a half second. Us, I know you got some dream, she said, a smile in her voice. The young woman smiled back. Yes, she told them. Someday said like to be honest. Chicago Tribune, Jennifer Smith, Richard, Elisa Cheney, Madeline Buckley, Liam Ford, and Peter Nicker at contributors@CONTRIBUTENEYCICAGOTRIBUNE.COMTWITTERA@ANNI12221.